The table is really clean. Just look, we're going to cut this guava right here in front of you. Just look at that. As I mentioned before, they're very well filled and packed with delicious fruit. And it's still steaming a little bit, I think. Look, let's see. Let's try the guava one. Guava is one of my favorites. How's it going, my people? Greetings, greetings. Here we are, thank God. Working hard, very happy and with great vibes, as it should be, you know it, and even happier, because we have the chance to be here with you again with another video, with another shape, like the ones we make here at your bakery, El Pan de Baldo. And wishing from the heart that if you make them, they turn out just right, whether for your home or for your business. Just look at what we can't miss here. Today I brought this beautiful mug. Look, from El Pan de Baldo. I loved it. No, I just wish it had the name over here, right? The other one I have does have it over here. Next time I order more, I'll tell them to put all the names over here so it can be seen right here. No, it's wonderful, really. No, it's like the coffee tastes even better here. Honestly, look, it's just that I'm right-handed. Yeah, I have to drink from this side so that it's like this. Something wonderful, thank God. All right, my people. Well, we're going to make assorted empanadas. Empanada, well, this empanada could be called Guadalajara style because right now it's Lent season and assorted empanadas sell a lot. Milk, strawberry, pineapple, caramel, guava, sweet potato, and they also make blackberry, apple cinnamon, various flavors. And they sell very well on Fridays. And then when it's Holy Week, lots of empanadas are sold all through Holy Week here in Guadalajara. And they're delicious, they sell, and in fact I make them. I mean, they're made every day. These are made every day, but during Lent and Holy Week, empanada sales increase a lot. Alright, let's get to work. We're going to make 1 kilogram of assorted empanadas. 1 kilogram of flour. With any white flour you have, the empanada will turn out fine. You don't need to look for special flour. No, any white flour will make the empanada work. Okay? 1 kilogram of all-purpose flour. We're going to add 400 milliliters of room temperature water. It can also be milk if you prefer. 400, look, it takes a teaspoon of sugar. Look, just like that. Look, just a little sugar. This is just to give it a bit more color. 400 milliliters of water and the sugar, and it takes 500 grams of vegetable shortening or half a kilogram. It can be butter or margarine too, according to each person's taste. And that's all it takes. It doesn't have baking powder, it doesn't have yeast, it doesn't have baking soda, nothing. That's all it takes, and this empanada, I'm telling you, is delicious. It sells very well, and besides, it lasts up to 3 days. As long as the filling is good, it's fine. It lasts long enough. Here, well, we make them daily. We make milk, strawberry, pineapple, caramel, and guava. The best seller is the milk cream one. There we go. Look, we'll do it in one go without cutting the video because this dough doesn't need much work either. If you overwork it, it gets stretchy, and it shouldn't be stretchy. Because when you make them, they shrink and get small. So this is little work. As soon as it's mixed, you'll see right here. Well, honestly, I'm very happy to be here with you all again, my people. I really am. I really love sharing even the little bit that we know with you, so you can learn from it. And if you ever want to start your own little business, you absolutely can. You could even just focus on making empanadas, because they actually sell very well, honestly. Just a dusting here, look. Just a dusting here, look. And that's it. This dough is very easy to prepare, honestly. There's really no reason for this dough to fail you. Look, there it is, look. Like I said, I clean myself like this, look. Because we bakers can't wash our hands all the time. Besides losing time, since we're working with heat, washing them constantly just doesn't work. Right? We just wash them very well at the start, thoroughly with soap, very well, and that's it. That's all, there it is, look. Look, focus here. My buddy Miguel is here, focus. Look, the dough is like flour tortilla dough more or less. Look, it's not elastic, look, it's like, that's all there is to it, and it smells delicious. We can also use this as a base for pies too, this one. Alright, let's go ahead and roll it into nice, even balls. I usually weigh them out to about 90 grams each, or somewhere around that amount, just to keep things consistent. Look, I do it like this. I'll weigh one ball now to check and give you the weight. The size varies, you know? But empanadas are usually about the same. If you make them too big, it's no good. And I don't use a cutter. I'm used to doing it this way, artisanally, by hand. Also for rolling conchas, I roll all the bread like this, by hand, by feel. But since I've been in the bakery business for many years, you just get used to it and get the feel for it in your hand. When I grab a bowl, I can usually tell. When I grab one, I know if it's small or large, and I naturally adjust it. It's really good to have that kind of feel for it. Look, it's just that I learned from, as they say, I learned from the old school. And it's nice, right? Because you learn a bit of everything, don't you? Look, here they are. Now, if one ends up too small, I just take a bit from each of the others and even it out. Look, they're ready, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6? There are 24. 25, yes, there are 25. 25 empanadas. 25 empanadas. 25 empanadas. I'm going to let it sit for a bit, so it's easier to work with, about 5 or 10 minutes so it handles better. Because if I do it now, it's possible, but it tends to shrink. It's better to let the dough relax so it's easier to work with, more comfortably. Alright? Very well, we're past that now. Oh boy, my nose is really itching, I can't believe it. Look, just look at that, would you? Seriously, just take a moment and look at that, it's unbelievable. Incredible. Let's see. Something good? Very well. Look, it's ready. We gave it 10 minutes to rest here. It can sit a bit longer. It needs 10-15 minutes of rest. Here I have, look, the strawberry, the pineapple. This is guava and this is caramel sauce. About the caramel sauce, many people have asked me, it's like dulce de leche. They sort of cook it down with sugar and it becomes caramel. Delicious. This is for cakes, for any kind of bakery or pastry filling. I also have the cream that I make here. It's freshly prepared. Look. And here I already have a video, 2 videos on how to make the cream. Look, look, it's still really hot. Look, look, you can actually see the steam coming off of it. I just finished making it. And honestly, not to brag, but it's honestly really delicious. You can see how fresh it is, and the aroma is just amazing. Well, you know, these particular ones right here are meant for us, so don't get the wrong idea. What a flavor it has, honestly. If not that, today we're resting. Today we're just making this bread for the video to show you how it turns out. Because then they scold me. They're right, actually. You have to be hygienic and respectful, and I don't get upset, honestly. I've also learned from you all because you comment, you give me feedback, constructive criticism. Those are good, really. And when they're mean, well, I just let them go. I don't get bothered, honestly. Blessings to everyone, no more, or else we won't finish making the empanadas. Very well, my people. Look, it's very easy here. I want you to learn how to do this. It's called crimping like this, doing it like this. Look, the dough turned out very manageable. Look, just look at that. I like using these types of rolling pins more. They're better. Later I'll make a video on how to make these rolling pins for flour tortillas, for making bread. They're easier to handle. We'll start with the cream ones. We're doing 5 and 5 and 5. Cream ones first. And here we put in plenty of filling. Don't think they're skimpy here. Our customers always tell us the empanadas are delicious and very well filled. Because in some places, they say the cream is just okay, it doesn't have a great flavor, and they're just skimpy. But not here. Here they are. I'm always making sure they're well filled. Look. Look. That's the trick, so that an empanada puffs up well, you have to look. Here. Here the empanada is already set. It's already marked there. Here it is. The empanada is right there. You just have to do it like this. Look, you press here and then here, like this. Inwards, look. And you press it down firmly, but not trying. Trying not to destroy the dough, right? Not to break it. I already press it here in the front. And just like that. Again, look closely at the dough. The dough is very manageable, really easy to work with. It spreads out on its own. Yes, it's very important to fill the empanadas well and use good fillings. And with that, there's no doubt they'll be a hit. When you start a business and you do things right, it's just a matter of time before you get customers. Time and just being consistent. That has worked very well for me, and I've learned it myself, honestly. And that's how it is, my people. By doing things right, you're going to do well, you're going to do well. There's no other way. It's just a matter of waiting for time to build a clientele. Very well. We're going to make 6 cream ones. Here the best seller is the cream one, the caramel one, and also the others. But number 1 is the cream. Since I have practice, well, I already make them quickly like this, right? But here it goes again. Look. There it is, look, huh? The little pineapple one should also be well filled. None of that. Of them being skimpy? No, no, no. None of that. Let the customer leave satisfied and eat a good little empanada and feel like coming back to us. If someone dedicates themselves to selling just empanadas, I guarantee they'll do super well with just empanadas alone. Well, now I'm going to glaze. Those get glazed with egg. I'll glaze those at the end. It's just the only one I glazed, that's all. Let's make the other pineapple one. The other little pineapple one. Look, quickly here, so as not to make the video too long. Because no, right? Like that. Now we're going to make the little guava one. You can also make the dough in a mixer, but as I said, as soon as it comes together, don't overwork it. Because if you overwork it, the dough will turn out bad. Look, the guava jam smells delicious. Alright, everything is ready. Let's go ahead and put the empanadas in now. Let's stop here for a moment. We let them rest for a little while. About 10 or 15 minutes of resting before baking them. Just let them sit. Look, they're going in right now. Let's see, let me think. Let's put... I bake them at 200 degrees Celsius, and I have the oven at 232 more or less, and when I put them in, it drops and stays at 200, okay? We'll be right back. Ready? The empanadas are coming out. Just take a look at how absolutely beautiful they turned out. Just look at them, really. Just look at that. This is how the color should be. You can give them a bit more color. You can leave them in a bit longer if you like, but they're already nicely golden. They don't need more. These stay light like this. They don't get too dark. They stay like this. At 200 degrees. They were in here for 27 minutes. Between 25 and 27 minutes or so is how long it takes for them to brown well. We'll be back in a bit to try them, okay? Ready. They've cooled down a bit. You have to let them cool, but not too much. They should be warm, so they take the sugar well when you coat them. Very good, very good. Let's sugar the strawberry ones. Look, just look at how beautifully they take it. Look, they're nice and warm, look. Just look at what a beauty. What beautiful little empanadas. Like I said, these empanadas are very easy to prepare, to make, and they turn out very nice. Look, nice and puffed up. Look, and well cooked and nicely golden. Look. And the consistency isn't hard. You bite into it and it's soft. It's golden but soft. And it has a spectacular flavor, honestly. And it's sturdy. They don't break that easily. Fresh sugar so it sticks well. I'm going to sugar these two right now. The guava ones, look, the pineapple ones, as I said, those are just glazed. You can also do them, like I said, like the strawberry ones if you like, and this is to everyone's taste. Who's here? This goes here. And we set aside a little coffee here to try them, because we need to give them the thumbs up to see if it's true that they turned out good. Just look at that. What a beauty I have here. Look, I also set aside some coffee because we need to look, let's see. My little knives, look, I really love them both. Whenever I go out, I'm always looking for new things to buy for the bakery. The table is clean, just the way I like it. Look, let's cut this little guava one here. Just look at that. Like I said, they're very well filled, packed with delicious filling. And there's still a little steam coming off them, I think. Look, let's see. Let's try the guava one. Guava is one of my favorites. Honestly, this guava one is absolutely delicious, really bursting with that sweet tropical flavor. The jam that I use is actually the Mago brand, which you can find right here in Guadalajara. Very good. There it is. That's that one. Let's try one more and that's it, okay? What a flavor. You get hooked, honestly. I'm going to show you a cream one so you can see. Now we're going to use this little knife, a cream one. Yes, this one is good. Look, nice and puffed up, well cooked on the bottom, good crust, and look. This one turned out a little soft, but it doesn't matter. Look, it's actually very well filled, you know, and the cream one is definitely number one, honestly. Let's see, shall we? If the guava one is good, this one beats it. It's better, honestly, the cream one. Something wonderful, thank God. Alright, my people. Well, that's the video. I sincerely hope that if you make them, they turn out great and that you like them. Since I share this with you with much pleasure from the heart, you already know, right? Thank you very much for watching our videos. Thank you for supporting us, for also supporting the guys here, Miguel, Benito, Carlos Plata, and Sol Plata. Thank you, my people. And the only way I have to repay you is to share the little that I know. And I do it with great pleasure, okay? Thanks for that great support. We already told you that at 200 degrees for between 25 and 30 minutes, 25 minutes to half an hour, so they get golden brown. You have to watch them so they don't burn. Just keep an eye on them, okay? Put a double tray on them sometimes and watch them so they brown nicely, so they don't stay soft. And it's very easy to prepare this Lenten empanada Guadalajara style. These are made daily, only during Holy Week does production increase, right? Very well, people. Well, what else was I going to tell you? Greetings and blessings to everyone. A hug to all my subscribers. And let's see. Once more. It goes so well together and it's so delicious. Not for nothing, I wish you were here to try it so you can see I'm telling the truth. Here you go, folks.